is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be discussing the price of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin just closed the daily. I don't usually do a video this late. It's 9 p.m., but we're seeing some interesting price action here in the short term. And we do have the CPI report coming out tomorrow, a huge fundamental news day tomorrow. And we now see Bitcoin coming up on our horizontal support. Now, this is significant because we've had a higher low structure since June. And if we fall below 22,400, that is the first lower low of the trend. And you can make an argument that that is a breakdown point and it would be destructive, right? Each higher low so far has been constructive. If we get down below there, it could be destructive, lower lows, bringing the momentum back to the downside. So that's the key thing coming up on tomorrow's CPI report. Very crucial moment. Now, to be clear, all of this stuff in the short term is just speculation. We can't really rely on this, right? I mean, really, in reality, nothing's happening. In reality, Bitcoin's at a very neutral point here. And it's been very difficult to make a call in the short term. And I think the problem there was trying to make a call before the CPI report. I don't think the market wants to do anything until we have the report tomorrow. So this is the thing, guys. We're coming up on that lower low, and also the RSI trend line on the daily. We've talked about this a lot. We're coming down below it right now, and that is a significant signal, a significant bearish signal. Guys, look at every other time we've done this. Over here, we fall below that. Let me just drop a vertical line on this chart. When we fell below that RSI trend line, look at the vertical line. What happened? Where were we? Well, we were just about to create a major downtrend. Let me drop a vertical line on the next area where we broke the RSI trend line. What happened, guys? You guessed it, a major downtrend, big swing down. And here we are, once again, actually below it now. We are actually falling below it. Now, I wouldn't necessarily want to make the call yet and say, oh, we're going to break down because of this. Only if we get below 22,400 with a negative CPI report, with a CPI report that causes a negative reaction in the stock market. If we get all of that, then yes, we're likely going to see a major breakdown. And just like all these other times, it caused a flush down. Like we didn't really spend any time waiting and pausing. It was like a flush down. But on the contrary, guys, I know a lot of people, when I say something like that, oh, we could be a flush down, they pretty much say, they just kind of snap their fingers and they say, you're bearish now. Well, no, we didn't break below 22,400. We didn't close this daily with the RSI trend line below. You see that? How I just drew this arrow up? That's what the RSI would look like tomorrow if we bounced going into the CPI report. It's not a printed candle yet. That RSI trend line can still tick back up on a bounce. So again, it's just too close to call. And we're not going to pretend to have a crystal ball. I'm not a Fed insider. I don't know. And honestly, we're just at a neutral point. I'm open to whatever, right? And I know that's not very helpful, but we're just too neutral. We're just too neutral right now. And I don't want to pick a side yet, right? We haven't broken up or down. I'll wait. I'll wait for the chart to tell me. And I've said this before, my opinion right now doesn't matter. What I think about the market doesn't matter. It means nothing. What matters is what the chart is telling us. And the chart now on the daily RSI is saying, look, we're losing that momentum. We're breaking below the upward sloping trend line. And that is a significant signal if tomorrow we close with a break below this RSI trend line. Of course, this could be reversed. Bitcoin is still in a bit of a neutral spot. It's kind of neutral, but there are areas just below us, below 22,400, that it would become destructive below the RSI trend line, possible flush to the downside. Now, just the other day, or just yesterday, right? It was looking quite bullish, especially this for Ethereum. Ethereum was hitting new highs, getting above 1,800. And it was looking kind of bullish. It looked like, okay, we're almost about to break above the 2021 support. And if that did actually occur, I mean, that would have been tremendous momentum for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the altcoins. But so far we are rejecting it. So we're still in this neutral spot just below. We're not fully rejecting the resistance yet. Not fully, but again, we're coming up on some of these horizontal support levels, right? And if Ethereum comes back down below 1,560, then that is a breakdown level for Ethereum. And that would likely have all of the moving averages. Like if we bring up, I don't know, the EMAs, 20 EMA, the exponential moving averages would likely shift to the downside. And that would tell us momentum is moving back down. Currently, the EMAs are still pointed up, right? So the momentum is still up in the short term. But if we see these EMAs curl over, then it says momentum shifting. And if Ethereum gets below 1,560, then momentum is clearly shifting back to the downside. But again, it's just too close to call. We're just still hanging out here waiting for the CPI report. It's still a little too close to call, but there are some signals here saying be cautious, be cautious. If we do get a report tomorrow that causes a downside in the stock market, well, it's going to get ugly. But again, too close to call. Currently, the S&P 500, is sitting up really high at this area, right? Just kind of perched up after this bounce, just consolidating sideways here. And if you look at the RSI for the S&P, we're about to get a cross down, right? This could be avoided tomorrow if things go well. But if things go badly, we are right at the point where the S&P would snap down and get like another cross down like this that causes major downside. We've seen like upwards of 90% correlation over the past several months with, Bitcoin here is in orange, Ethereum is in blue, S&P is the candles. The correlation has been supreme. It's been ultra correlated. And that's because I've done a lot of research on this. Just a couple of years ago, people did not believe me that the crypto market was correlated or Bitcoin was correlated to the stock market. No one believed me. Everyone denied it. They said, you're wrong. Now, today, most people agree. And most people pretend that they always agreed. And I know most people didn't agree just a couple of years ago. But now everyone seems to know and understand, okay, there is a correlation. And what we can see looking at this chart is that when the S&P, like over here, this is 2018 right here. When the S&P is making these lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, and kind of just going sideways, but violently sideways, very violent, Bitcoin's downtrending the entire time, just going down. 2015 right here, S&P lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows, going sideways, violently sideways. What is Bitcoin doing? Downtrending. And this just continues to be the case. When the S&P is unstable, speculators are not confident to speculate bullishly on Bitcoin. And that's what causes downtrends. Now, I made this post in March, and I was talking about this since like January, February, March of this year. And this was when Bitcoin was at 43,000. I was actually giving bearish warnings back then. People really didn't like when I was saying that back then when Bitcoin was at 43K. And I was saying if we continue to be unstable and volatile for the S&P, Bitcoin could very likely continue this downtrend. And the data just supports this, right? The data supports that likely if the S&P keeps downtrending or just being volatile, it can even be going sideways. The S&P could even just be going sideways violently and Bitcoin's going to downtrend. But, I know a lot of people, they just assume if I say anything bearish at all, they think I'm an ultra bear. If I say anything bullish at all, they think I'm an ultra bull. They don't allow any nuance, right? A lot of people out there, the commenters, they don't allow any sort of nuance at all. It's just say that, that's what you are. You say that, that's what you are. It's like, oh, guys, it's not. It's a little bit more of a spectrum than just being black or white. I mean, unless you're a Fed insider, you probably don't know what's going to happen going into the CPI report, right? But I just wanted to come on here, explain my thoughts, explain why, we're quite neutral. But there are a lot of things to be there's a lot of potential pivot points that we're resting upon right now that are crucial to keep in mind. But we're going to see tomorrow what happens. And I'll keep you guys updated. So smash the like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon as well so you stay updated. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Probably a lot of swings, I think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it'll be a pretty volatile day. The market may be picking a direction tomorrow for once, which it hasn't been able to do at all for a long time now. If you guys want to support this channel, join the Patreon, get into the VIP Discord chat. Also, BitGet, the exchange I've been using more recently. If you deposit $100, you get a $4,000 trading bonus. And it's no KYC, US approved. So definitely check it out. The futures volume is quite good. The order books are thick. There's barely any slippage. So it's really nice to trade on. click that link for that deposit bonus. I'll see you guys in the next video.